Alright, hello everyone. Happy Monday. Video will release early Tuesday morning. So what I want to wish out everybody happy Monday. It was a good weekend. Everything went well. A lot of printing going on, just pretty much for me over the weekend. No major customer orders printed this weekend. Just stuff for me. Did print some stuff for the store, but we'll get into that in a little bit. I want to start out, big shout out to Tim Alborn for helping me out there with the FWD information from the last video. Great information. So, pretty much as, we all expected, there is that type of design out there. I just had to listen to all the other guff. So I'm glad Tim chimed in and kind of got that straightened out a little bit. So we're good there. I had something else that I was going to rant about, and I'll probably remember it as we go, and I'll throw that out there. What's new in the shop this week? Did a couple test prints, some scaling for Peterbilt 340. This is from Hora 80. Not very familiar with his work. He has a ton of trucks and stuff out there. Markets these and puts these out as toys. So I'll get into some stuff here in a little bit. Put this on the slicer. That's what popped out first, was this one. That is a, figure out which way I'm going here. This was at 45%. So I had to take it, put that together, do my measurements, and then come up with this. BBC on this guy is 108. And everything measures out really, really good. I was really surprised as how he had this marketed as. The hood width is dead on. The cab is on. Like I said, BBC is 108 for it. So everything else measures out. So I will finish getting this printed out, test printed, scaled, everything else scaled and ready to go. Try and get this one here listed by the end of the week. Have some stuff coming up, personal stuff that's going on, just here at the house, and have some PM on some of the printers, do all that fun stuff. So this is really cool. I mean, I like it. Looks nice. So we'll see how that works. All right. What else is new in the shop? We have the next family member in the Brockway clan. This is the 759. I love this short little cab on this. Short cab, short hood. Looks really cool. I think all these Brockways are awesome. This is a test print, so you'll see some lines. When I test print, I use minimal supports. So you'll see some waves and stuff in it, which is normal. When I go in to do this for production, I'll start to add more supports to the sides to kind of get the waves here out. Again, print came out really nice. Super cool subject. 759, this will be available both in 1/24th and 1/25th scale. Same square tanks as always, same interior as always. Again, I really like the detail in that. Looks really, really sharp. I don't think there's a Brockway that I don't like. I think they're all pretty sharp. It's just a very unique truck, very cool. Tanks are the same, grill's the same, grill's your same Brockway grill. Square tanks, so same thing as almost all the other ones. Several more out there to that I have. Several more to just test print and get them going. We'll see how all that happens. Want to welcome another designer to the page. His name is Mads3 Denmark. Only has a couple prints out there, but one is a record. I haven't opened it up. I have downloaded. I haven't opened it up as of yet today. I will get this sliced and everything today. It's in 1/24 scale, I do believe. So should print out fairly nice. Kind of looks like a combination of there's that little twin axle wrecker that it's on that Ford 9000. Kind of looks like an extended version of that. A little bit different. Lights in the back are different. So I don't know if that's where he got it or anything. Been talking to him a couple times today. Reached out to him over the weekend, and he's like, "Yeah, go ahead and print it." It's still a private use license, but I have written confirmation that I can sell his prints. No files, just the prints. I think that was part of my other rant that I wanted to say. I have had so many people reach out and ask me if I can print this and sell this and print this. I can, as long as I have permission. If it's not in the 7 or 8 designers that I currently use, I will reach out for permission to print their finished pieces. I will not print it if I do not have permission. I refuse. Again, I get asked all the time, "Hey, if I buy the file, will you print it and sell it to me?" No, not without permission. And I will not print it and sell it to you. I will print it and put it in my store, and you can buy it from my store. I'm not going to do business that way. I refuse to. So, if you guys see something that you want, I'm glad to print it, as long as I get permission, and it'll be through my store. I've had a couple guys come to me that they don't have eBay, they don't like eBay, but they want to order some stuff, and I've done some sales that way. I don't like doing it because you don't have the protection like you have for me through eBay. If something goes wrong, I have eBay to stand behind me 100%. Something goes wrong outside in just a private sale, man, I'm pretty much toast. And that's my personal preference. No one else can sit here and say, well, people don't do that. They do. They still try and do it on eBay. But I've had to do several things through eBay just to make sure that my butt's covered, my money is protected, and my reputation is protected. So, the false claims are out there. It doesn't matter if you're on eBay or if you run through your own private website. So again, I'll print anything as long as I have permission, as long as the owner of the file says it's fine. I have also had individuals come out and ask me to scan and print and put stuff in the store and make a deal that way. And I'll be honest, the first thing I saw was like, ooh, that would be awesome, because I know what these are. I'd reached out to a friend of mine to kind of go over what I was offered and anything else. And as I was waiting for his response, my brain all of a sudden went, oh God, somebody owns these. I'm not going to go into details of who it is, what it is, who the past maker was, who the current owner is. I'm not going to go into that. But it was just all of a sudden like, oh, hey, dummy, somebody owns the rights to these now. So if you were to scan and print these as your own, it's a fraud. It would have been a very, very bad decision. So before my friend reached back out to me, I reached out to them and was like, hey, hold on, this was wrong. So again, there's stuff out there. There's people out there that always want to try and make these deals. So just anybody else that watches this, you do what you feel is ethically correct. I'm going to do what I feel is ethically correct and make sure we follow the rules. Let's see. What else happened? I don't know. Kind of just a same repeat of, last week. Print, pack, clean, repeat. Not a bad week. Bears won. So, from Illinois, I'm a Bears fan. That was a good game. I was glad to see him win. Busy week this past weekend, just me and Mama going out and doing stuff, hanging out. Had a really good weekend. But other than that, coming up as far as test prints and everything, finished printing out this 340, and I'll have that set up. I should have the 759 set up for sale in the shop today. I'm going to go do that, get that finished here real quick. I have a screen to replace in my Elegoo Saturn 4 Ultra. It's number 2. It's pretty much now I've just come to the realization that, okay, it's going to happen. So just sooner than what I would like. I know I talked about it last time. But I've got to go do, I have to go do that, finish that. I've got to go change out some FEPs. Speaking of kind of printers, guys, I can't tell you enough. Make sure you go through every 2 or 3 prints, drain those vats. I wouldn't even wait, a couple prints. I do mine every other day. I have 5 printers on one stretch of tables, 5 on another, every other day. I alternate them. 90% of the time, you're not going to get anything out of them. But man, that 5%, you would be amazed at what comes out of those. And that'll just build up if you don't get those out of there. You'll smash that down in, and then all of a sudden you've got some screen issues where, some, or even print issues. You can start to see if you have a problem, you'll start to see some pinholes and stuff in a funky design. Also, when you know that your screen is going out, you really get some funky textured layers, especially like I said, on top when you can see it. I noticed the screen on the 4 going out end of last week. You can't tell it when you get it out of the vat because it's still covered in resin. But after I cleaned it, you could tell that there's some waves, some funky patterns to it. So I knew that screen was going bad. And instead of going around and messing around with it, having to reprint another print, I just went ahead and shut it down, did the test on the screen, and you can see where it's starting to go out. Not even going to mess with it. I'm going to change it out and finish that out. So no issues there. Anycubic still going strong. I have one going. One of my oldest, about 6 months old. It's starting to go. I can see it. Also, something too. When these start to go bad, you'll see a little bit of. You get some fuzzy legs on your supports, from what I see. So that's a big warning that, okay, hey, this is about to go out. I always run a silicone spatula through the bottom of my vats just to make sure there's nothing on the bottom. It's tough to find those little supports that are maybe floating in there. What I do with the spatula on the bottom is you're looking for roughness to see if there's any buildup on the FET film itself. You can feel the if you have a failure, you can feel that buildup on the bottom. One thing to note: don't use that black spatula that you get with the printers. Don't use that; you'll scratch the heck out of your FET films. I use the silicone ones from the store, from the kitchen section of the store. You lose some feeling. You lose your ability to tell what's there on the bottom. So make sure you take your time and go over. Every once in a while, that bottom will flip over, and you'll think you're hitting something. Just go through, take your time. But man, you've got to do that every print. I do that every print when I'm done, and then every other day I drain my vats. It for 5 printers takes 15 minutes, 20 minutes max, just to make sure that that's done. You're doing that instead of just keep chugging. You're saving a ton of possibly a ton of money by having to change out your screens any sooner than you need to. They're expensive enough the way it is. I did see on Amazon Saturn 3 and 4 Ultra screens are $109. And they were able to ship out and deliver by the 21st. So 9 days out. I think today's the 12th. So 9 days to deliver. That's not terrible. They're probably, I know Chidu has a place out in California and also up in Jersey. So these must be coming out from California. Um, Resin, everything switched a few months back to Elegoo ABS like Pro 3.0 Pro. Great resin. I really like it. Um, there is nothing better, and I need to make this point. There is nothing better than Soraya Tech Fast Navy Gray. If you're doing a ton of uh, drilling, different stuff like that, to where you're roughing that up. Um, for me and these prints, um, the Pro Elegoo ABS 3.0 Pro, it's non-brittle. Everything it works not just as well, but for what I am doing, that is the resin that I am using. Um, Man, a lot of stuff going on, but like I said, I wanted to keep these short and sweet. I'll have another one here probably next week. I have not heard from 3D Lemur on this trailer and any progress on the engines. Um, it is what it is. There's a ton of stuff in the store. They'd be great for coming out, for additions and stuff, but it is what it is. If we get them, we get them. There's plenty of stuff out there. Don't get me wrong. I could go in and purchase any of the OBJ files, but again, you've got to get permission to sell them. Go in there and do all the work in Fusion and all that Meshmaker to make those decent for 3D printing. We'll get there. If it happens, it happens. It's on my side, but we will get there. Progress on a couple builds. Can't really see, but there's 281. It is in paint. I did go through and paint. I did get some paint. Did some black. Did the roof. Did the top of the hood fenders. Didn't look bad. Did some detail work on the door handles, on the engine mounts or the engine tie downs there, hold downs. Probably won't be a ton more. I'll get the lights and stuff up on top. Probably won't be a ton more there to get done. I am going to paint the breather Cummins beige with a black top because it'll have I've just got an engine sitting in it, but it will have a Cummins engine in it. And back in the day, they painted those to match the color of the engine. So there is that. All that's fitting together well. Just trying to get the right tanks and everything lined up. This was one of the tanks I had to start detailed up. Just need to clear it, but it's a little bit big. So doesn't quite fit that. So we're going to go with this tank here with the steps on it. I know Evan will be happy to get those. He just ordered a set of those. Look pretty good. Just need to go through there and do all my paint detail and all that good stuff on it. Something that I have, and this one's not in the best shape. This was a Ford L9000 or W9000, sorry. W9000 that didn't quite make the move over. I don't know if any of you, this was posted over on Model Truck Builder in the forum 3-4 years ago. I was still down in Kentucky, as a matter of fact. So it's been probably 4 or 5. But didn't make the move. One of the things I've been doing is trying to reuse and repurpose the chassis and frames and stuff like that. So you saw on the Brockway 260 that I did, that was an old Ford C600 Stakeside that didn't make the move. The cab was in pretty rough shape. So it's just a quick mock-up. I can't be something like that. The engine's probably going to have to come out and everything, but that'll be what this is going to go on. I'll paint it to match, weather it up to match, and repurpose a chassis that's still in, the chassis is in good shape. Just have to do some trimming. You can see here where the fuel tank fell off. Eh, easy peasy. Come in there, do that. I know I still have the paint. Come in, touch that up, come back, weather it, and then just repurpose that chassis. I have a huge, two huge boxes of stuff that I need to that I can repurpose and reuse. So that's what all the 3D printed stuff will go on. I do have a project in mind. See, this is going to be a 30-minute video because I keep talking. I do I do have a project in mind that I'm going to use one of probably the 210 or 250 millimeter chassis. Combine that with one of the WC3D suspension sets, probably just a single axle, and then put one of the Freightliner cab overs on it, one that's already done, or custom build myself. I do have, and you'll see them in the store. Nahul Customs has some wide hot rod fenders, different size fenders. I am going to print super singles, and it's like a teardrop wide fender. Now I'm going to put that on that. See how that looks. I know I have a couple sets of lowered suspensions somewhere that I printed. If not, I could print them again. But it'll lower the stance on the suspensions. Maybe I'll throw that on, give it kind of a hot rod look, and just use parts that way. So that's what's going on in the brain of the shop anyway. It's hard to say if that's what's going to happen. I will add a picture into the clip here of the wrecker body that is out there for everyone to see. Just kind of have that added in, see what everybody thinks of it. If there's anybody out there that's printed it, let me know. Let me know what you think. Let me know what how it printed out. It doesn't look like there is a boom with it. I think it's just a bit. So I hope to have that here printed up pretty quick. I do have some orders I need to get out, but I'm pretty sure I can get it done. All right. Like, subscribe, share. Guys, see this. I will talk to you in the next video. See you.